Hello, fellow administrators. Welcome to one more guide. This time, we'll be talking about our first precise unit, S-rank Tsukuyomi. In our community, Tsukuyomi is mostly known as Raijin because she was the first Lightning CDPS to be released and took a long time for her to be dethroned. As a member of Shin-O faction, Tsukuyomi is the representation of the god Tsukuyomi no Mikoto of Shinto religion, originated from Japan, who holds authority over the moon. Tsukuyomi is said to be born as the second of the three gods, when Izanagi was cleaning himself from his journey to the underworld. In Aether Codes' lore, she's one of the starting members of the Pheasant Squad, alongside Katachi and Buzenbo. She mainly participates in missions that requires invasion, protection, and combat. Tsukuyomi may seem a bit strict, but in fact, she just tries to give her best and show to others that they can achieve the best of themselves, especially Administrator and Buzenbo. Now, let's work. Tsukuyomi is one of the starting units of Aether Codes. That when the game got released, she was the best character to use because of her damage, but over time, she ended up becoming outdated until she got her module release. Despite S to Tsukuyomi having 3 Aether Codes, her only and best role to be used is as a damage dealer. In Aether Codes, S Tsukuyomi can be used with either red code or yellow code. The option to choose will depend on if you have her SIG key or no, but we'll talk about this later. Let's take a look through her Aether Codes. When we talk about Aether Codes, the first thing that comes into mind while talking about S Tsukuyomi is how much does she need her SIG key. Since her release, red code is the best option that you can use for Tsukuyomi. The reason is because this code allows Tsukuyomi to focus on her nuke damage dealt by skill 3. After module effect, it gained crit damage in redline 3. The reason why red code requires not only a specific different build, but as well her SIG key, is because it provides a boost of ATK and at same time reduces the use of rage over her skills, besides implementing a stackable buff according to how much rage you spent, thanks to her module level 3. Now, yellow code. Once we jump to yellow, it's obviously a more cheaper build that you can use Shin-O Genzone key. The reason is pretty much obvious. Yellow code allows Tsukuyomi to perform in a similar manner as when she have SIG key, but with less damage, of course. Thanks to her module, Yellow Line 3 not only got a buff of 3% in damage dealt, but as well got its type of buff changed to instant damage, allowing the implementation of a skill type damage increase. Even if you don't have her module unlocked, yellow code is your best shot if you don't have and don't even plan to pull her SIG key. Finally, blue code. Before the implementation of module, this Aether code was useless, and after the implementation of module, it got just less useless. The reason is simple. S Tsukuyomi's skills have a long time of cooldown that may end up making her getting behind in challenge battles with limited time. Some people may think that blue line the first of may be a good idea to use, however, not only you can get more critical rate using supports or implementing enchants over her sigils, and still, you can keep the effect of red and yellow line 3. The only point of worth to analyze here is her blue line 3, but this would only repeat the performance of Katachi when used as an AUX unit, resulting in players only doing a mistake. So ignore this code. Regarding her combo rotation and AI, it's necessary to explain in a more detailed manner the importance of S Tsukuyomi. She's one of the easiest units to be controlled by AI, to the point that when you use a team with her, and she's not the only one CDPS unit, you should consider to use the most complicated unit instead, such as the previous demonstration while using S Buzenbo. But even if she's not complicated for AI to control, Tsukuyomi can have use of the dodge cancel to fasten her combo rotation, specifically when using her skill 2, as you can notice over the demonstration below. When performing her combos, always give priority to the full damage combo, and you can consider to don't use dodge cancel while in modifying mode to guarantee the most possible amount of damage against strong enemies. When we talk about Functors, there's no other choice to pick if not her SIG key. Despite Tsukuyomi being able to handle to some extent the low difficult content with a cheaper build, such as using Shin-O Genzone, there's no way to compare her performance after module and using her SIG key. It's recommended to obtain if you already have her module unlocked. The major reason for this recommendation is not only for more damage, but S Tsukuyomi's general performance will be a lot better, to the point of affecting her sigils choice and as well Aether Codes as already informed. If you have her SIG key, the best options for build are Red Code and Chariot. Chariot Sigil works according the resources bar of the character, making Tsukuyomi fully activating its effects through her combo rotation. However, if you simply can't afford right now, or you're a new player without enough resources to pull for her SIG key, then consider the alternate build, Yellow Code and Feathers. The reason is because this build will give a similar structure of combat as if using her SIG key, and allowing to manage the stacks required by Feathers while using Yellow Code. Overall, I still recommend her SIG key because of personal experience. Which now, we'll talk about her warps and enchants. For warps, Tsukuyomi's build is almost extremely basic, just requiring some adjustments according the team, battle, and as well her Sigils setup. You can see that over the general image with the summary of her best choices in warps. She doesn't have much alternatives to pick when compared to other units. Instead, she's a lot simple to build, as long you understand her gameplay and play correctly. The huge difference is when, once more, you have her module completely unlocked or not, and as well, her SIG key. My constant mention about these two things is that you'll notice a clear difference like water and wine when comparing her damage before and after module. And since most of her damage is behind her skill 3, these suggestions are pretty okay to follow. Now, let's check her best teams, since she has many options. Regarding her enchants, you need to pay attention to her team composition, especially if you plan to use ult partners and they increase skill damage, as method to avoid the overflow in skill damage area once you unlock her module. For being one of the first units to be released, Tsukuyomi ends up having a huge amount of options to create teams when we compare to other characters. However, despite having this amount, doesn't mean that all options are good to use. As you can see through all the suggestions below, the best ones that I would consider to follow for endgame content are S. Buzenbo, Everthandi, and Ling Guang. If you're a new player and don't have the mentioned options, or you can't use Ling, no worries, then you can consider to use Katachi, S. Hera, Ukunanushi, and any other option available. Still, I must inform that Heimdall is not a good option for Tsukuyomi in my opinion, since if you can invest this much in an A rank, then consider to go after Everthandi. That's all for now, dear administrators. I didn't forget that my guide for Thoth needs to be uploaded, but I'm holding it until she gets her announcement. Also, yes, I'll be making my first A rank guide, and it'll be for a rank for Thandi. Until next time.